All right, this is our second update from Pooch, and we have one of the future generations, one of the heirs of the Chubb's property, and he's going to share, and you'll get a new perspective from this upcoming generations of their thoughts on Chubbtown. And so here's Diamond, and he's going to share some of his thoughts about Chubbtown, his experiences. You're on.
Just the fact we can even have this conversation. We know who our ancestors were. We knew where they were. We knew what they were doing. There's a story, and not everyone gets that, especially people of color. And in fact, I even find with some of my white friends, they're Irish, maybe they're Italian. Their grandparents got here a generation or so ago. They don't know the story of the old country, but we know the story of our family, and it goes way back, and it goes back to the beginning. And we fought in almost every war, and we benefited from some things that are controversial. We may have been blacksmiths for the Confederates. We may have gotten our land because the Cherokee removal policy. And so history is a strange thing, but it's what gets us here to the present. And we're grateful for life, and we're grateful for being stewards of the present and of future life. So that's what I've learned. And Granddad's did a really good job making that the standard for all of us.
Well, what are some of your reflections when you visit Chubbtown? What are some of the thoughts that linger in your heart concerning Chubbtown?
Well, you know what? It's not unlike almost any locality in the country right now. The generation I'm in aren't really able to take the homes, right, of our grandparents or our parents. And so it does feel like there's a decline, right, because there aren't as many people there. The community is not as centralized or dynamic. But I think a lot of people will continue to hunger for a different way of living, going back to certain traditional values, just being in nature, and charting your own course. So things are always in flux, and we know if we care about it and we put the investment in there, it's going to be matched by other people. And so it's a newer thing for me. I'm kind of a city boy, but the older I get, the more tranquility I find, and so it's a good thing, and I think it's only going to get better.
All right. As we look at the world today and we see so many things going on, they're talking about famine here and wars and rumors of wars and all these things. And so now I notice that there are many people talking about also raising their own food and growing their own crops and thinking about getting away to a place, a quiet place, to just feel a bit safer. Would you recommend Chubbtown?
Well, I have to say, I should say no, right? Because will it stay that way? That's just the great risk of life. I would absolutely recommend Chubbtown. It brought us to where we are today. We keep on going. We keep on giving it life and our time. And I think that maybe sometimes the past has a lot to teach us, and we forget that. We're so future oriented. So like you said, you feel safer because you really find yourself when you slow down, and it's not easy to do in the middle of society. It might not even be the point of society sometimes. So I highly recommend it.
And Pooch, what would you like to see the upcoming generation do with Mama Chubb's place? What would be your dream that they would walk out?
Oh, I love to see them finish the product that we've already started on and then develop from there. And I would like to see Chubbtown begin to be a town again. Sort of like it was before, but not as modern as things are today, They need a few things that they could have in the town to make it a little bit more easier to live, in that area. That's what I think. That's all I would look forward to.
Okay. And Diamond, do you have any thoughts about future things that you'd like to see developed on Mama Chubb's?
Well, I'm a student of Sun Tzu, so I won't give you my best ideas lest they are no longer mine. But I appreciate what my grandfather said, because this is life well lived here. For me, my dream would be for it to be a living museum, but what he wants is for it to still serve people today. Again, the respect for the past, but taking care of the present. And so I highly appreciate what you said. And that's what's going to make it a town again, right? And that's what's going to make it a genuine place to live, not something out of artifice, which is what we're trying to escape in society. So we have to remember that. We might be thinking we're running away from something and we just recreate it in a new place. So I appreciate what you said. Make sure it serves the people, but it doesn't change too much.
Okay. Now this question goes out to the both of you. Let's just say that you were in a position to see a town develop. What would be some stores or some buildings or businesses that you'd like to see incorporated into Chubbtown?
Well, I'll say, I'll let Granddad probably tell you the substantive businesses that would be smart. For me, I think people underestimate aesthetics and the style of buildings. It does have an effect on society and culture and your own sense of being. And so I think when you know there's a local culture, a certain type of architecture or style, I think that should be reflected largely in the public square. I think it should be celebrated, not forced, but that's when you do want to recognize your culture and lean in on it, because it's a wonderful thing.
All right.
Well, right now, Chubbtown is developing with and progressing with new people and new money, and they're investing in the land down there, and they're building nice homes and things, and they're putting them to where the country is still the country, but they're still living in modern times. So the investment that they've had, that they are investing in now is already there. They're building nice homes in the inside. I mean, to where you can view them, stuff like that. And then a lot of them are building stuff to where you can't see them. You know, and yeah, right. Mm-hmm. So, but there is a big development there. So it increases the property value. But the only thing about the property value is that some of the times the value goes up so high that some of the people that own the property can't afford to keep the property. So the investment is there. People want to be there. They love being there. Because other than that, they wouldn't be building them nice houses and things if they're there. But nice houses come with a different type of a future too. Come with taxation and everything else. Sewage, which we don't have. A lot of things that city life doesn't have, but the country doesn't have, but they still charging us for the same things.
Okay. All right. Any other reflections about Chubbtown you'd like to share? Any of your experiences in Chubbtown you'd like to share? The family values or things that you enjoyed the most or what have you?
Well, I'll say this. I will go with the roads. The roads, when I was very, very young, the roads was real narrow and they were full of rocks. I mean, it was rocky road, just like one of the Western movies you say when they going out west. That's how the roads was down there. So now the roads are they've paved the roads and they're a lot wider and everything because of new development and things like that. So that is a great improvement right there. And those are some of the things that I value, that I think makes the place a lot more desirable. And as soon as the future comes into the Chubbtown, when I mean future, I mean, you know, the new technologies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's going to be a while, because that keeps a lot of people from coming to Chubbtown, because they don't have the things that they need to make themselves comfortable.
All right. Any other reflections, Diamond?
I would say that, especially in this time where it seems like victimhood is a kind of currency, instead of just being respected for what it is, it's almost lifted too high. I'm reminded of the ethics that our ancestors had, and it was to make yourself better and to make the world around you better, no matter what was going on. Whether it was the founding of a nation and a revolution from an empire to a country at war with itself, we continue to persevere and we continue to find our place in that time. And so I think the story has to be victorious no matter what. You owe that to those who come after you.
All right. And one more question. I heard one individual speak about that visited down in Chubbtown area, and it was so dark at night that they felt compelled, perhaps, not to do the roads down that way anytime during the nighttime. So what would be your suggestion to someone that believes it's just a bit too dark at night? Is there a beauty in the nighttime in Chubbtown?
I don't think we've procured how much it would, or assessed how much it would cost to procure, instead of the Hollywood signs, it's just saying Chubbtown. That might light it up a little bit for us. You know, it's hard, right? Balancing function versus form. That's the great debate in any endeavor you're doing when you're building something. And so it seems like that will be the fight on the public roads. Most likely people will have all kinds of lights once it hits their property, though. They probably should. I usually see a snake on the road, so, and they're black, so that ain't gonna work at night.
Or a reflection spooch.
Oh, yeah. That was very, very nice. I will have to make this announcement about the snake and stuff like that. They're always crying about snakes down there. So, in fact, they was whining about the dogs. And and I'm not trying to put her on the spot or anything, but and it's not her, but her dog, my brother, they always talking about the dogs, stray dogs. We don't bring stray dogs. Stray dogs come there. My grandmother loved dogs. She loved animals, period. And they come for it like an omen or something. They come to that house. We even had a cat that always walked around everywhere.
Okay. Sorry, but we have a lot of traffic going by. But would you repeat that about your grandmother loved dogs, stray dogs?
She loved animals and everything. And when she passed away, it seemed like every time we would come down there would be a stray animal that would come down there, you know. Every time. We even had a cat, and I guess they thought it was a dog because it would follow us no matter which way we walked. The cat would go. And every time there would be a different animal that would come down there, and it seemed like it would be taking care of us, you know. But some people down there, they don't seem like they appreciate it or think about things that way. They think about it in their own negative way. But when it comes to them, they're selfish. I will say that for the simple reason that I have cousins down there that walked a dog and got bit by a snake. And didn't say anything. I mean, they had the dog to go to dog pound, and I don't know how much money they might have spent trying to save the dog's life, which is a good thing. But the bad part is that when you visit them, they do not let you know that they have a dog, and they're not trying to put their dog up for you. So you could get bit down there. In fact, my brother did get bit, and so that's why I'm just going to leave that just the way that it is. I'm not going to say anything more about it.
That's right. You'll be hearing from our lawyers.
Right.
All right. Well, I was reading in Proverbs the other day about God appreciates when people are kind to animals. So that's a blessing that you picked that up from your grandmom and ran with it. And I'm sure she would be well pleased about that. All right. Well, any more reflections? Hopefully we will be back, and Pooch will be sharing more update conversation. So thank you for tuning in, and we thank you, Diamond, for joining us, one of the future generations of the Chubbs. So God bless. Thank you.